9440.
4405.
9445.
Welcome back, crime fighters. Time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place. I'm Chris Wright, your host, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Good to see you, Matthew.
Good to be here, Chris.
And we've had a good week, haven't we?
Always a good week. Y'all always help us out. 6 more arrests brings our count up to 3,266 people arrested and put behind bars, all because you were willing to help. And that help extends out not only to the show for what we have done, but we're needing your help today with the lineup, but we need some special help this week.
Yeah, we've got one individual specifically. I know we put this out on Facebook, but we want to put it out on television as well, as many ways as we can, get the message out. This is a guy that we want to find.
Absolutely. If you put the picture up, it's William Jeffrey Hopper. He's out, he lives in, known to be living in the East Aboga area, Lincoln, Mud Street, Fish Hatchery Road area. He's actually out of prison on parole for 2, not 1, but 2 life sentences. Don't kill the messenger. We put them behind bars. We're not the ones who let them out, the parole board or whoever makes those decisions. Let this guy out for 2 life sentences, and now he is burglarizing and terrorizing the southwest portion of our county and Talladega County, and we know that he has stolen some guns. He is on the loose. We need to find out where he's at. He is in a reddish copper rust color GMC Chevy Sonoma. If you know this guy, know where he's at, call Crime Stoppers immediately and we can see about getting you a reward.
Now, clearly somebody who has been in for a couple of life sentences, he knows what he's probably facing if he's caught again. So this is not somebody that you want to try to apprehend yourself.
No, we're looking for information. That's what this show's about, is the information. We'll do the arresting. If you give us the information, we'll go out and deal with this guy. Anybody facing 2 life sentences returning to prison is going to be dangerous. We feel that he's dangerous. We know that he's stolen some guns. We don't know if he has the guns, we don't know if he's selling them to get more drugs or what, but we consider him dangerous. We need him back in prison. He is burglarizing that southwest portion of our county. Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere in our county or any other county. If you see that red or rust color looking GMC Sonoma, if you know where Mr. Hopper's at, call us. Call Crime Stoppers. Always call 911 if it's an emergency. Crime Stoppers is 256-238-1414, and we always want your information. We just don't have to necessarily know your name.
All right, and I know some people are watching the show right now a little frustrated that this guy's been caught, been sentenced, and then he's back out. Trust me, it's more frustrating for you than it is for just about anybody else, but that's what we do in law enforcement. We deal with the situation as it is.
We go after the bad guys. We can't help who the parole board or the courts send to prison or the prison lets them out early. I can't control that. It is frustrating. We want this guy and we want to do our part to put him back where he belongs. And
I think he'll have a harder time getting out next time.
I hope so. We'll make sure that we protest everything we can to keep him in behind bars.
All right. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Sonny King Ford, serving our community for over 92 years with the same family ownership. At Sonny King Ford, you always get the best price and service. Always have, always will. Sonny King Ford wants to earn your business one customer at a time. So remember, if you want to pay more for your car or truck, that's your business. But if you want to pay less, well, that's our business. Sonny King Ford, South Quintard, Anniston, Oxford.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the Parenting Tip of the Week. If your kids are like most, they are masterful at finding creative ways to wear you down to get their way. It's important to understand that it's natural for kids to want what they want and try to get it at all costs. It's also natural for us as parents to get frustrated and tired, and to give in to those behaviors sometimes, or perhaps more often than we'd like to admit. When we step way back, we can see that our kids can only manipulate us because we allow their behavior to be effective. The danger is when those behaviors become a way of life. So how do we help them and ourselves so that we can stop the pattern of manipulation? First, recognize manipulative behaviors so you don't get sucked in by them. It's helpful to make a list of all the many different behaviors and words that your child does and says for the purpose of throwing you off balance. Prepare for how you will respond next time you hear them. Second, know your triggers. Recognizing your triggers will help you plan and prepare for how not to let your child push your buttons. Sit down and make a list of your top 3 triggers so you're aware of what they are. Next, define yourself and your parenting principles. Knowing your own bottom line as a parent will help you when your kids come at you with their ingenious ways to make you unsure of yourself and lose your center. Make a list of some of your important guiding principles and refer to them when you feel like you're losing your footing. Lastly, believe in your child. Have faith in your child's good intentions. Understand that kids are works in progress. They might need to learn better ways to manage themselves in life, but they are not bad or malicious. Their intentions are not to get us or make our life miserable. However, if we believe that's their intention, then we will see them that way. Believing in our children will help them see themselves with all the goodness that's in them and with all their best intentions. Parents, learn how to be in charge of your own emotional health. Each time you justify negative behavior and let them off the hook so that you feel better, they learn that these behaviors are effective and they grow to depend on them. Managing your own emotions will free your kids up to learn how to manage their own lives and get their needs met more successfully. Remember, kids can only manipulate us if we permit them to. It takes 2 to tango, but only 1 can change this pattern. For more parenting tips, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, William Hopper. Mr. Hopper, last known to be living in East Tioga, he's wanted for probation violation on robbery first. And this is Terry Proctor. Mr. Proctor, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on distribution of a controlled substance. And take a look at James Haygood. Mr. Haygood, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted on failure to appear for possession of marijuana second. And meet Robert Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first and failure to appear on distribution of a controlled substance ×2. And this is Kimberly Mays. Miss Mays, last known to be living in Oxford, she's wanted on probation violation for fraudulent use of a credit card. And here is Marco Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted on probation violation for possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And last up for our first half, Jerry Pelfrey. Mr. Pelfrey, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on burglary third. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
We'll have the second half of the lineup in just a few minutes, but right now let's talk some music, shall we? Tom Potts is joining us. Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you too, Chris. Thanks.
And you do a lot of things around town, but what we're going to talk about today is the Duggar Mountain Music Hall, where you've been producing a show that, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a great story. The last 3 years, it's just been a real blessing to sort of sit back, and if we tried to plan all this out, it would never have possibly worked out this way.
Got a little show on Highway 9 up in Calhoun County.
In an old converted church that was getting ready to cave in on top of itself.
And now this show is being seen by millions of people all over the United States, and in fact going worldwide. Matthew, I'm sure you saw the story the other day about the professor at JSU in the forensics department that is going to be going over and doing a TV show in Great Britain. He'll be on 14 episodes.
Right.
Well, with Duggar Mountain Music Hall, the show that we produce in Calhoun County is going to be on television in Great Britain.
Every week, at least once a week. They love it so much. It's so funny how, when you think about it, bluegrass music, and not all of our music's bluegrass, but a lot of it is, Southern tinged sounds. The people in Ireland and Scotland both just can't get enough of that. And it's so funny because that's where we got that music from.
Right.
And it just goes round and round in circles.
Well, they feel the roots of it, and they see a progression of it.
Right.
So it's a natural inclination, and I'm sure a curiosity to see where their music has gone to. Do you include any bagpipes? Has Matthew ever played on the show?
I've never gotten an invitation.
Come on.
You said something about the perfect pitch was about 30 yards on bagpipes, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, we've got 30 yards. We could toss it right up towards the road there.
There you go.
All right, so how did this all start?
It's Bob McLeod's an amazing guy, and I had the privilege to meet him about 4 years ago, I guess, and I'm through Lloyd Andrews, and they were working together. There's a long story I can't really get into right now, but all of it's miraculous, just amazing. Things like they needed sound baffling to turn this into a studio, keep from echoing the sound and all. But finding out what it cost to put up those kind of drapes or acoustic tiles was going to be real expensive. So Bob was praying about it and said, well, I don't know what we're going to do. And the people who had been there before had the pews there in the church, but they were upholstered all the way around. And Bob had this epiphany. He said, I wonder what happens if you stand those up on their end. And they didn't change a bit of anything, and it fits within half an inch of going exactly to the ceiling.
Wow.
And they're a perfect sound baffle. And they're just enough of them. Both sides of the room are lined with up and down. It's things like that happen over and over and over again. We've had people in Nashville come in going, wow, what have you guys done in here? The acoustics in here are amazing. We said, well, these people thought they were sitting on pews. They were actually sitting on sound baffles all this time.
Wow.
But it's just a real amazing story. We started off with doing one show and didn't really know. We thought maybe 24 might run it for just a little something. We didn't really know exactly why we were doing it. And Alan Rhodes, who you may know, he's a co-executive producer with me and Bob with the show. So I have a low-power television station up in Huntsville, and I love this. This is great. You mind if I put it on the air up there? We said, sure. He said, I'm part of an independent network. Now it's called The Walk. 255 stations across the country. You mind if I show it to them? I said, okay. About 2 months later, I get this phone call from some guy in Florida. Hey, you Tom Potts? I said, well, yeah. You produce Duggar Mountain Music Hall? I said, one. We love it. We wanted to make this a weekly show nationwide. Is that okay with you? I said, well, sure, okay. Let's get started. So we hit the ground running, and it's just been like that. That right there, Bob loves this part of the story. We went from a possibility of max audience of 80 out of the converted church at the site to 80 million.
Wow.
In one day, and then since then it got picked up again, still on that network and still here on Channel 24. It's our home base here on Channel 24. We're very thankful for that. 8:30 on Sunday nights is the assigned time, but it runs other times too, just because it's popular, I guess, and people like to see it. What?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So it shows here at 8:30 on Sunday nights. But it also got picked up by the Heartland Network out of Tennessee, and that's in 22 states again, with another another 27 million households there.
So you're rich now, right?
No. We're still trying to figure. I'll tell you the truth. We couldn't have grown like this and continue because all the production costs. You need all kinds of different things that you have to do that people don't think about. And we've had 3 benefactors, sponsors that have really stepped up to help cover the production costs. Alabama Power, thank you, Alabama Power. And JSU has stepped up. Thank you very much, JSU. And Calhoun County's Tourism Board or the foundation. Without them participating, we wouldn't be able to do this.
It's not about making money. It's not a money-generating show. It's a show to get the word out. We need to take a break.
Sure, okay.
Let's talk a little bit more about it. And can we actually see a clip of the show when we come back?
Yeah. Sure. Got Misty Ray Carson, I think we're going to show you a little love.
Yeah, we'll do that when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken,
Sad.
Just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Sonny King Ford, serving our community for over 92 years with the same family ownership. At Sonny King Ford, you always get the best price and service. Always have, always will. Sonny King Ford wants to earn your business one customer at a time. So remember, if you want to pay more for your car or truck, that's your business. But if you want to pay less, well, that's our business. Sonny King Ford, South Quintard, Anniston, Oxford.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Henry Baker. Mr. Baker, last known to be living in Grady, Alabama. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a forged instrument second. And meet Stephanie Mulkey. Miss Mulkey, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for bond revocations on burglary third and theft of property first. And here is Jennifer Middleton. Miss Middleton, last known to be living in Weaver. She's wanted for failure to appear on domestic violence third. Take a look at Alice Jenkins. Miss Jenkins, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. And this is Lakeisha Wilson. Miss Wilson, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on child support. And we'd like you to meet Regina Wright. Miss Wright, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for writing multiple worthless checks. And last up in our lineup this week, Pierre Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for writing multiple worthless checks. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
All right, we have Tom Potts with us today, and Tom, as I mentioned, wears a lot of hats in the community, everything from church events on up to planning the campaigns for marketing for God knows how many different companies and entities here in this area and other areas as well. But today we're talking about the Duggar Mountain Music Hall, the television show that you've been executive producing for a while now.
Right.
And we're going to take see a clip of that show right now, if that's okay.
Oh, right, sure.
Let everybody see what we're talking about.
Yes, Misty Ray Carson. This has been an amazing thing. A lot of the artists come to us, and they're just on the edge of breaking, and she's fabulous. We just heard recently, I've heard her on a number of different country radio stations doing IDs. Hey, this is Misty Ray Carson, and you're listening to whatever radio station. So she's really making it. We wanted to just listen for a second so you get an idea.
To be endless possibilities. I waved to her and she looked straight through me. I look around at everyone who slowed down when they could have run. They smile when they say life got in the way.
This is a show, obviously.
But deep down they don't really mean it. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. Dreamers who just said goodbye to dreaming when they woke up one day. Hey, yeah. Julie met her husband in 9th grade. Now she wishes she could run away. Wants to, but she never will. Got nothing left but time to kill. The cigarettes, the TV set, and pills. Look around at everyone.
That's good stuff there.
Yeah.
What I love about this, Tom, is so much of what we see and hear in music today is so overproduced.
Right.
It's as simple as it can get.
Well, and this is the idea. We have many different genres. It's been amazing. We started thinking it'd be all bluegrass, and there's been plenty of bluegrass, but lots of any kind of Americana acoustic music, basically. And the talent from around this area, it's just an amazing thing, how much talent there is. And yes, it's simple, it's stripped down, it's bare, it's very real, very personal. We've had a lot of requests for people to be able to buy recordings of some of these shows. We're starting to put together a series of live at Duggar Mountain Music Hall CDs. As a matter of fact, Carol Lee Johnson has just put the first one out. And those are going to be available.
Personal favorite of mine.
There you go, yeah.
Kelly's somebody who's definitely showing some success from local
she's amazing.
artists.
She's been very involved with Duggar Mountain from the get-go. But and it's really, Duggar Mountain is the sort of higher profile messenger for Our Father's Arms, the ministry that really this is all for. So anytime you're helping or participating with the show, you're really participating with helping folks that really need the help from Our Father's Arms, and Bob McLeod has been doing that for over 30 years.
Now, what about actually participating in one of the tapings? Or do you have a live audience that someone can be a part of, and how do they know when and where to show up?
If they can like us on Facebook, we don't really publicize it a whole lot because we've only got room for about 70 people in the studio for a show. So if you like us on Facebook, you'll get notification of the schedules as they're coming up and stuff, and a chance to reserve a seat if you want to come. We're kind of getting organized to the point where if you really are interested, we're looking maybe for 70 people or so who really want to commit to coming to all the shows. We'll give you a little lanyard with a VIP Duggar Mountain Music Hall, kind of like these do an American Bandstand.
Wow.
Have the same kids show up, every week. But that way you could really become part of the overall Duggar Mountain Music Hall family. We're leaning that way. I mean, we don't have to have that done right away, but if you're interested in that, let us know. Again, through DuggarMountainMusicHall.com or Duggar Mountain Music Hall on Facebook, either one.
So, do you charge people to come to the shows?
No, it's all free. We even feed everybody.
Wow.
It's just the way it started.
Okay. you get to enjoy some great music.
Yeah.
You get food.
Yeah.
And you're on a TV show that is seen all across the world by as many as 80 million people if they choose to tune in.
Ready to about 140 million is what we're at,
okay,
right?
wow.
Yeah,
okay. So,
well, access to it. I shouldn't get seen by it, but that's how people have access to it.
Wow. So, I'd say that's a good way to spend the evening.
I know. Isn't it fun? And also it's adult hours. I mean, the shows usually start at 6, and the tapings are usually finished by, so if you come and eat at 5, music's at 6, and you're done by 7:30 or 8. You can go do something else or just go home before it gets too dark.
That sounds like some good entertainment.
It's where people bring their whole families. We want to encourage that too. It's a very family-friendly atmosphere there.
All right. Well, we're about out of time, but if people want to find out more, the Facebook page is the best place to do that?
Yeah, DuggarMountainMusicHall.com or Duggar Mountain Music Hall on Facebook.
Very good, Tom. Thanks, and good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Chris. Thanks.
We'll be back with the Crime Stoppers segment of Calhoun County's Most Wanted and our Crazy Criminal of the Week in just a couple of minutes.
Sonny King Ford, serving our community for over 92 years with the same family ownership. At Sonny King Ford, you always get the best price and service. Always have, always will. Sonny King Ford wants to earn your business one customer at a time. So remember, if you want to pay more for your car or truck, that's your business. But if you want to pay less, well, that's our business. Sonny King Ford, South Quintard, Anniston, Oxford.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4, that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost. But now I am sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and start taking notes. First up on your caseload this week, January 4th, a chainsaw and pressure washer were stolen from this storage building located on Fish Hatchery Road in East Tioga. And sometime on December 31st, a concrete saw was stolen from this residence on Fish Hatchery Road in East Tioga. And sometime between December 8th and December 26th, a Husqvarna chainsaw was stolen from this residence on Wellington Drive in Wellington. And sometime between January 2nd and January 3rd, a Kawasaki Recon utility vehicle and a Remington .22 caliber rifle were stolen from this building located on Mud Street in Ohatchee. And between December 31st and January 1st, a white Dodge Ram truck was stolen while parked at this residence on Wellington Road in Wellington. A chainsaw and a 300 mag Ruger rifle was stolen from the truck. The chainsaw was recovered near the residence. And here, between December 30th and December 31st, 2 chainsaws were stolen from a barn on Vineyard Drive in Wellington. Sometime between January 2nd and January 3rd, hand tools and saws were stolen from a residence on Mud Street in Lincoln. And sometime between December 23rd and December 29th, a Smith & Wesson rifle and a rangefinder were stolen from this residence on Fish Hatchery Lane in East Tioga. And between December 20th and December 29th, a Husqvarna chainsaw and an air compressor were stolen from a storage building located on Fish Hatchery Lane in East Tioga. And last up on your caseload this week, between December 20th and January 6th, various electronics were stolen from this residence on Gatlin Road in Oxford. Now, if you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Now, Matthew, I know that you love it when you're investigating a crime and you find some DNA evidence.
That's always a sure bet.
It usually does take a little while, though, for unlike what we see on television, to process that DNA and really know what you're dealing with. It takes some time usually.
It does. It takes some time.
All right. What if that DNA is still living, as in the form of the children of the suspect? That's not as long to process, is it?
No. That would be a strong clue, we would say.
Yeah, a 26-year-old woman from Wisconsin left some very living and breathing DNA behind when she was in a chase. She was driving the minivan, decides this isn't working, I'm going to get out and run for it, leaves the kids in the minivan.
You know, it's just a true testament that drugs will ruin your life. I'm sure there was something along the lines in there that some type of substance abuse, and if you're willing to leave your kids behind, wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. We're joking about the story, but of course it is very serious when children are in a situation like that, and that's one of the things that we will ask people. You know, we're asking for information on this show. We want people to speak out on what they know is not right, and certainly if you know of a child that's in a situation that's dangerous, let us know.
Let us know. Always call us. You can call, and we will always respond and do our best.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for this week. We hope that you'll watch. If you missed the lineup at the beginning of the show, go to the Facebook page and you'll be able to see this week's lineup there. And then we'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.